Quick disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Trading Forex is risky. Don't be an idiot. Use risk management. Enjoy the video.
Hello traders, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I make videos about institutional Forex trading and smart money concepts. Today I'm going to go over a few trades that I took on pound US dollar earlier. It's been a bit of a messy day today and I've made some silly mistakes, but I thought running you guys through my mindset and thoughts could be useful. Also, I'm just going to basically explain to you what I've got on my chart at the moment. I'm not going to clear it off and go piece by piece. I was going to, but I was writing out all the things I wanted to talk about and I was just thinking, oh, this is confusing me. So it's probably going to confuse you guys as well. So instead, I'm just going to go through what's on the screen. A little bit of backstory about pound US dollar. It's been in sort of like a bullish push up for the past couple of weeks. However, this red area that you can see here is an order block. So I was potentially looking for a bearish reaction off that order block. Now, what I noticed was that when the London session opened, we pushed above this previous high that was made yesterday. So we stop punched above that high and then we came down and broke this very minor structure and absorbed the liquidity beneath these relative equal lows that were formed in the Asian session, suggesting to me that perhaps we could be looking for some bearish moves today. Now, what I noticed was, so we came down, we absorbed the liquidity beneath here, and then because of that I was looking potentially to take a bearish trade to the downside. Now, I identified a couple points of interest, the first being this red box here, which came off of this sort of hidden order block that formed on the 3-minute chart that occurred just before price pushed down and broke this structure to the downside here. I also identified this final up candle here, which is sort of like at the top of the range. Those were my 2 points of interest for sells. Now, when I was looking at this one, I mapped out on TradingView, I set out my entry, put my entry at the low of the order block here with my stop loss around half a pip above the top just to account for spread. I was looking at it, I was thinking this is a good trade, but as price was pushing back up, it was doing so very impulsively, very strongly, and something in my mind told me that it might not be the best trade idea, and therefore I didn't set my limit order. Now, hindsight is an absolutely wonderful thing, and I wish I had taken it because price came up beautifully into the area, dropped down, consolidated, dropped down again. Brilliant. I was only looking for a 1 to 3 out of this. If I could have got a 1 to 3 out of that, and then I would have logged off my computer and left it for the rest of the day because a 1 to 3 for me is just fabulous. But oh well, I didn't take it. It's a learning curve for next time. I know I should have taken it, but I thought I would show you guys anyway because it is an example of a valid trade, and it's also an example that when you're doing trades like this on a lower time frame and you're using such a small stop loss, it doesn't matter if this move doesn't take price all the way down to the floor. I wasn't expecting that. If I can get a 1 to 3 out of it and then get out, then that's just fab for me. And yeah, that's all I've really got to say about that one. Anyway, we move on. So, because price sort of came down and then started to push back up again, and then obviously would have eventually stopped me out if I hadn't exited the trade, I was then looking for price to come up into my higher order block area up here, where I would then potentially be looking for a sell. In the meantime, I was thinking, where could I potentially buy the market up to this point of interest, scalp a few pips out of the market? And what I picked out, if I go into the 1-minute chart, oh wow, that's very zoomed in. I identified this final down candle here, which was the one that actually pushed below these relative equal lows and pushed below this low that was formed in the Asian session. Identified that as my order block candle and was looking to take an entry there to take price to the upside to my other point of interest. Now, this is where the silly mistakes come in. I set my entry at around just around the open of the order block here. It was filled in my broker around half a pip below. It's fine by me. My issue was when I was using the position size calculator, can't remember what website I was using. Anyway, I had refreshed it, just put in all of the details without thinking to make sure that the pair was right, and I think I must have calculated it for Euro USD or something like that. Anyway, messed the position sizing up, so in the end my position size was actually smaller than it should have been. I wanted to risk 0.5% on this position because it was counter trend. So the 0.5% that I risked with the position sizing that I used actually meant that my stop for 0.5%, if you understand what I'm trying to say, ended up being 6 pips when realistically I wanted it around 4, pretty much. This area that I have marked up underneath here, if I go along to the side, was just not an area I was looking to take a trade from, but an area that I wanted to be wary of. Just a little hidden order block in there, like in the middle of this impulsive move before price broke above this level in a previous Asian session. Like I said, wasn't looking to take a trade off there, but I did want to be wary of it just in case price wanted to come down and tap it. So yeah, my fault there, me being stupid, me being tired, too small a position size. Anyway, price came into this area beautifully, started to push up. Oh, sorry if you heard that. That was my MetaTrader, I think. Yeah, price started to push up. Great, fab with me. Price got up to around 2R, and I was just sort of thinking, oh, you know what? I'll take some profits. Try and do that. Me, already flustered from messing up the position size, accidentally clicked close position instead of modify position on MetaTrader, so I actually closed out my entire position at around 2.15R. Instead of, I was going to take off a third or a half of the position. I don't remember now exactly what I was going to do. Anyway, very annoying, second silly mistake of the day. Still managed to bank 2R for myself, so I can't really complain. Wish I had held it for longer because, as I'm sure you can see to the right, price continued to work its way up. Anyway, what can you do? 2R, or I guess, 2R, 1%. Can't complain. Anyway, you can see my little notes that I've made there when I was doing it, just getting annoyed at myself there. But I was pretty confident that price was going to continue going to the upside because, as you can see, I've marked out these relative equal highs here that were touched like 5 or 6 times. These ones that were formed here. These ones that were formed very temporarily when I was during the trade. So yeah, I was pretty confident of the upside, but I was just not having a good morning, clearly, and messed it up. Anyway, price eventually did work its way up to this area here. The original POI that I was looking at, where I had set an entry at the open of this final up candle here. Price worked its way up, literally tapped me in by 0.2 pips, so I was very pleased. And then once it did that, it dropped off quite strongly, and I thought, oh great, fab news, wonderful. Came down, sort of found a base at this area where we created lots of relative equal lows, and then started to push up. And I was thinking, okay, it's fine, you know, it might come back above, you know, grab some liquidity above here, but I was pretty confident that it was still going to work out because it had left all of this liquidity beneath here. However, again, day of mistakes. At the same time, we had some very high impact news on the dollar earlier. I think it was non-farm employment, which was a lot less than it was expected to be. So that was obviously very bearish for the US dollar. In fact, I'll bring up the dollar index. So ignoring this, but obviously you can see the news sort of hit and it was just dropping off. I don't know. I'm still questioning myself about it. I've got some thinking to do about that one. But all in all, as I've said up here, bearish dollar news, bearish dollar index, probably not the best trade on my part. So anyway, as you can see, price came up into the stop loss and then just pushed way above it. Still within this higher time frame order block area that I'd marked out. Pushed up, and then once it did that, dropped off so nicely to the downside. Not much that you can do really about that one. Not every trade is going to go right. Not, you know, that's just how it is. So lost 0.5%. I did only risk 0.5% on that one just because, yeah, risked 0.5% on that one. Risked 0.5% on my other trade. So risked 1% altogether. Lost 0.5% and gained 1%. So I ended up up 0.5% for the day. So can't complain really. Ended on green, so not going to complain, but it's just been a bit of a frustrating day. Made some silly mistakes, but do you know what? Mistakes are there to be learnt from, and not every trading day is going to be perfect at the end of the day. Right, well, that's probably where I'm going to leave it for today. I'm sorry this has probably been the most messy, uncoordinated video that I've ever made, but it's just been one of those days, and I just wanted to just show you what happened, tell you what was on my mind, just so you can see that we're all human, we all make mistakes. Not every day is going to go perfect, and sometimes things just really don't go your way, but I still finished up 0.5%, so I can't complain. I'm not complaining. But yeah, anyway, that's about that really. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching. There's some much more organised and probably much more informative videos on my channel, so if you're interested in that, please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other content. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching and have a fab week, guys.